Welcome back. We're going to cover one of my favorite topics. It's something that I absolutely love Junos for. It is the ability to do things like copy and replace patterns and rename stuff. And it is just the absolute bee's knees. So we'll use our interfaces again. This is a pretty easy part of the configuration to see these concepts in, but if you're doing just when you're watching this, think about how useful this could be if you were, like, say, creating firewall rules or filters or building, BGP peers or protocol stuff. It's just so slick. So let's get into our favorite example interface, G000, and let's start by doing. Let's just do this. We'll start by using an IP address because it's easier to see what this does doing it that way. So we'll do set unit 0 family inet. Address 1.1.1.1/32. Great, Joe. There we are. So let's say I needed to change that IP address for some reason. Colloquially, we might think that we just delete it like I just did and then just redefine it. But we don't have to do that. We can actually use the replace pattern command, replace pattern, and we can pick our pattern. In this case, we can do the whole IP address with 1.10.100.1, and that'll work. Or you could actually just grab a unique portion of the config. So the equivalent to that, I could have done a period 1.1.period. You just want to make sure that you have a pattern that is specific enough so that you're replacing what you want. You also need to make sure you're a part of the configuration that isn't going to catch that pattern to other parts of the config you don't want to modify. So in this case, let's just change it back. We'll do a replace pattern, and we can just do 10.100 with 1.1. And we'll see that that has actually changed it back. If I were to do that replace pattern here, I don't have anything else in the config, right, that has that pattern. Well, just take my word on it, I don't. 1.1.1 with whatever. If there were other parts of the config that match that pattern, it would change them too. So you do have to be somewhat sensitive to where you are in the configuration because that replace pattern is relative to the part of the hierarchy that you're actually in. If you do want to check, you can just use a show command and then grep or match for the pattern that you're looking for, and it'll come up with every time every occurrence of it. This particular output might not be all that useful because it'll show it to you like it's right out of the hierarchy, and if you have multiple lines in this output, you might not know where they are. So just do another pipe and do the display set toggle. This actually shows you the commands you would have to type in from root to see where that part of the configuration is an output. And this will tell you right where it is if there are other instances. In this case, there's just the one. So that's fine to that's a replace pattern, and it is so awesome. It has just saved me so much time, particularly like what I was saying when I was doing like firewall rules or like routing protocols. It's just terrific. Copy command. Well, let's say we just accidentally, on purpose, totally deleted GE001, and we want to recreate it. Now we don't actually have to do a show here. You'll see that it's gone. We don't actually have to retype it out. If I have interfaces that match or part of the configurations that match, and again, this is really useful if you're doing firewall rules or protocols or what have you, I do a copy GE-002 to GE-001, and hey, guess what? It's right back, carbon copy. So obviously what you're copying from and to have to have a slightly different name, but you can kind of get a sense that, like, if I needed to, say, copy something and then make changes to it, using copy and then replace pattern would be really, really useful in that situation. We also can rename stuff. Like if I delete that again, delete GE-001, I can do a rename GE-002 to GE-001, and guess what? One's there and two's gone. And now if I want to recreate two, I can do a copy GE-001 to GE-002, and look, we're level set right back to where we started. These are really, really awesome and powerful commands, and you don't know you couldn't live without them until you got them. That's it for this video, and on the next video, I might just talk about replace pattern and more because I love that command so much. No, we'll get into some other bits and pieces. I gotta scroll through, and actually, I'm out of battery, so if you're looking in the upper right-hand corner, I'm not gonna record the next video right away. I gotta plug this thing in and actually go do some work. Thanks for watching.